Hi, this is Nikki, and I'm here to share messages that I get from Spirit and from all of our higher selves, all on this journey to love. And I'm going to share a Starman Tarot for the day as to what energies we are working with for those that are under twin flame, soul to soul union. That is the energy of the day. But before that, I'm going to read letter 188 from the Divine Love Letter books that I do. And I was seeing the number 188 everywhere yesterday, and it basically means about abundance coming to you. And so which was right on point, because I sold my granddad's car yesterday. And so the reason why I was in 188 all the time was literally because abundance really was on its way. And so that's the mess. And so a message today is about saying as well is that if you have been manifesting and working on your manifestation, then basically in 2019, that is going to happen. Manifestation is going to happen far quicker, because as our vibration rises, we pull things to us much quicker. And so, you know, we can create, because we're here to live a created life and a creative life. And that means having, you know, those resources that we need to fulfill our dreams. So therefore, things are going to happen to be fulfilling those dreams, which is why. And one of the amazing, so for those that follow my channel, you'll know my grandparents both recently passed away. And so I've been clearing through a lot of their things with my mum, and had to find all their house documentation for the solicitors. And there have been so many links back to my twin. One of the main ones, because I say, you know, I always say use the twin spirit to help you in your life, right? So use them to help you create abundance. So call in your twin spirit, because actively using that twin spirit is a really powerful energy source. And so, you know, thinking about that they're not with you in the physical is actually reducing that power of energy. Whereas if you call them in and ask them to help you create the abundant life that you want, then it's really powerful. And when we were looking at the deeds of my grandparents' house, which we're going to have to sell, it's the estate agent was my twin's surname. So I was like, oh, hello, you're there again. And also the person that's moved into my house, sort of on a long-term let thing, has the same name as my twin as well, and surname, and lived in the same street as my twin. So these things, you know, just show that they are there your twin spirit is there to support you in your life and help making your dreams come true. You know, your twin spirit stamp will be everywhere around your life, because ultimately they want to show that they are helping you in every way they can. So I'm just going to talk very quickly about a few healings that I did yesterday and what I saw, because again, very strong messages. So first one, in a rowing boat, the boat was blue, the oars were red, throat and root chakra. And they were going down a river, and the twin was rowing, and they were and he was guiding them down the river, and there were rapids, and there was a waterfall, and basically it was, you know, basically the turbulence of emotions and trusting and believing. And when they sort of came up, and we did some heart healing and chanting and various things, but when they came up out of the water again, they were in the waterfall, but there was like a misty, you know, and it creates a rainbow. So it was like, in the end, you know, they were fine, they popped up, they were in the waterfall under this misty rainbow, very beautiful, but very symbolic of this kind of like crazy, turbulent, emotional journey, and feeling like you're going to get dunked and never going to be able to come up, and all of those things. The next one was about, I see them as children, and they're holding a pearl, and they're in a muddy field, and they're kind of rolling this pearl in the mud. And so the pearl gets completely covered in mud. And I do some heart healing. So basically symbolizing the pearl is within them, and the mud is like all of the energies that they have, passed between each other through their lifetimes. Everything that isn't the pearl. But the gift is that you are both the pearl and the shadow, right? The pearl and the mud makes you who you are. And so then we do some heart healing and chanting, and again, various things, what I'm guided to. And then after that, I see them as little children, and they start covering each other in mud. And so they're just covered in mud, and then they hug each other. Again, symbolizing that the acceptance of who you are, exactly the way you are, with the shadow, with everything, because the mud is what has made you, you. And there's an amazing thing around in Japan about a teapot. And if a teapot breaks, it's the cracks that make it, when they put it together, it's the cracks that make it golden. Right? And that same thing around that healing was like, it's when they saw each other as children covered in mud, and they were putting the mud on each other, and then they hugged each other. It was that sign of acceptance to say, I accept you and love you for everything because we've done this, together. Again, really powerful, really lovely, very sweet healing. The next one, it was brilliant because I saw a Scrabble game and they were playing Scrabble together. Obviously symbolic that it's a game because of course we are moving through this illusion of life, and it is literally a game that we are playing. And on the Scrabble board is just written, I love you, 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 I love you. And then I could see it, and there it was her and her twin playing it. And then I saw, basically, then it was kind of like the Scrabble board morphed into a jigsaw. And then they were kind of putting the jigsaw pieces into each other. So it kind of morphed from the Scrabble board into a jigsaw, but the jigsaw then became those two. And they were putting the pieces of I love you into each other. So it kind of like morphed into each other. And the song that came through was, I didn't recognise it at first because it was like, what was the lyric? Anyway, it was the Bob Marley song. And it was, is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? That's it. The lyric was, is this love that I'm feeling? And I didn't recognise it straight away because I just heard the lyric. I didn't hear the song. And so when I searched for the lyric on YouTube and then played Is This Love by Bob Marley, I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's it. And when I scrolled down, of course, it had her twin surname as part of the comments. And I just kind of knew before I've had this feeling, I was like, I know her twin surname is going to be in here somewhere. So it was just amazing, these sorts of things. And so again, that collective story about we are the mud to each other's pearl. We are moving through these really stormy emotions at the moment. And we're doing that because actually we're manoeuvring around this game of life. And as long as you keep on top of that wave and really appreciate that, it enables you to really appreciate that process and just know everything that's happening is all part of the process. So again, how the three intertwine together is again another way of just miracles, right? It's amazing. So letter 188 is, my darling, you must stop worrying. You must feel me deep in your heart and trust me that I'm coming for you. Trust in our journey together. Do not fear. Let your mind be at peace, little one. I will take care of you, and I'm always there to take care of you. Don't forget that. Everywhere you are, I am. We are one. We are never apart. Please believe that this is true. Please believe in me, in us, in our journey of love. We are following the light back